guys, welcome back. This is John and Mark, and we are currently on our top 10 list of 7-inch singles. We are on our number 8 right now. I'm going to start this one off. So, funny that you mentioned last time round about Dire Straits 2.0. We've got Dire Straits 1.0, Dire Straits, with the song Calling Elvis. So this, as a song, it kind of means more to me as a memory than it does as a song. Like, it's a good song, but when I was very, very young, I had it was like a VHS cassette of all of their music videos that they'd done up until that point. And this was kind of the song, I think it was the first track or first video on the tape. And so, like, this has been ingrained in my memory for basically my entire lifetime. So yeah, the song is Calling Elvis. It was the first single off of their final album, On Every Street, which I think is quite an underappreciated album. Obviously, a lot of people go on about Brothers in Arms, which is a great album, but On Every Street is really, really good in its own right, and kind of has that same sort of production that I think lends itself really well to being played on vinyl. Like, it's really pristine and well put together. Like, the engineering's really top notch. The track itself, as the name would suggest, Calling Elvis, there's a lot of references to Elvis. Like, they go through like Love Me Tender, Heartbreak Hotel. I think there's even like a line
Did they actually play it?
No, they sort of just like the word lyrics and stuff like that. A lot of mentions and callbacks to Elvis. I believe it sort of came about because there was at one point in his career, Mark Knopfler was getting so many phone calls, he took his phone off the hook. And his brother-in-law tried to get hold of him, and he said, "Oh, you're more difficult to get hold of than Elvis."
Right.
It's a very kind of guitar-driven track. Lots of like not ambient passages, but relaxing kind of laid-back passages where it's just keyboards and the rhythm section kind of doing the thing, and then he's kind of got his sort of bluesy, soulful kind of guitar just kind of whittling away over the top. The music video, as I mentioned a minute ago, that's a really, really memorable music video, and it's worth checking out. It's actually directed by one of the original creators of the Thunderbirds. And so, like, all of the members of Dire Straits at the time, or official members, I mean, at that point there was tons of studio musicians in and out. All of the members are kind of represented as their own kind of Thunderbirds characters and stuff like that. And it's a proper, it's not like a parody, it's a proper, like, true to life. Well, cool. It's like an episode of Thunderbirds. So it's really worth checking that out and seeking that.
There's someone out there's got a Thunderbirds doll of Mark Knopfler.
Probably, yeah. It's got to exist somewhere, yeah. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, I'd say it's probably their best music video. I know a lot of people say Money for Nothing, but that, I think, is a much more interesting music video overall. Money for Nothing is kind of good for 5 minutes, or first 30 seconds. I was going to say 5 minutes. That's the whole song. Like, it's good to begin with, but kind of, there's not much of a story to it. Whereas that's actually got a bit of a narrative. Yeah. The B-side, Iron Hand, that's also from the album. Lyrically, it's very dark. So lyrically, it's all about the Battle of Orgreave, which is essentially like a fight that took place in Yorkshire over like miners' pickets. And it's very kind of indicative of what Mark Knopfler would do later on, like his like folky kind of work. And it's kind of almost just a Knopfler track in a way. Loads of almost pad-like synths and then just acoustic guitar. But there was a lyric that really kind of grabbed me because, as I said, it was all about this kind of confrontation between police and people on the pickets. So the lyric, the first line is, "With all the clarity of dream, the sky so blue, the grass so green." And then when they repeat that verse later on, "With all the clarity of dream, the blood so red, the grass so green." So, like, cool, it was quite a brutal event, and it's quite a brutal song in that sense as well. Again, as I said before with these ones, like, a lot of these songs I've kind of picked for the lyricism and kind of the message they have to share.
I mean, it's kind of like lyrics is a big thing for me. It's not the whole lyrics, but there's always that one line that stands out. And for me, that's just, I don't know what the rest of the lyrics would be, but just if one line stands out, like you'll see one of my tracks, I'll pick out some lyrics, which is just amazing. Yeah, but I do like lyrical content.
So yeah, there we are. Calling Elvis from Dire Straits.
I just want to check that video out now. Even though I'm not a massive
It's
fan
really,
of Dire
really
Straits, I
good,
would definitely check
honestly.
that video out. So my number 8.
8.
I keep doing this every time I get the numbers wrong. This is from a band who I absolutely fucking adore. It's a band called Adult, who are from Detroit. They're made up of a married couple, Nicola and Adam, who I know personally because I did shows of them in Bogota, Colombia a few years ago. But even before then, I was just a massive fan. I just absolutely love these two. For me, these two are what are called true artists. They live in Detroit. They both have arts degrees, so they're, to me, the true artists, and they really put a lot of effort into their music, into the way it's given out to the public. For instance, this is a 7-inch that I chose for this one here. I had an array of them. This is on their own label, Sats Audio. I hope I've said that correct. Sorry, Adult. And it's almost like a collab 7-inch. So they're doing one side, and it's one of my favourite songs by them, and it's called "Feeling I've Got to," and it's great. So Adam does all the kind of synths, I think, all the drum machines, and it's just raw analog sound, and you've got the lyrics of Nicola over the top of them, just real kind of hard, and lyrically it's insane. I just love her lyrics, but when you see them live, oh my god, the energy, it's just incredible. I love this band. For me, they should have been like huge, even though they do have a cult following. They do have a real loyal fan base. To me, they've remixed people like Fisher Spooner and things like that, but I think they're very, very selective, and I think that's the arty side of them. I think they're very, very selective. They just won't do stuff for the sake of it, and I get unless it's an assumption, they're not chasing the money, and I love that. To me, that's true artistry when it comes to their craft. But this is the 7-inch, and it's Adult. So big ups to Nicola and Adam for putting out great music. They're still putting out great music now. And again, they were massive in the early 90s with a track called Hand to Phone. Was the first time I heard them. And I've been a massive fan ever since. I try and collect as much as I can. If you haven't heard this band, check them out. Adult. Love them.